Flame and Zipper meets here in the jungle. Both of them trying to make sure that the wards don't come out unfavorably for them. And okay is actually going to be forced back a little bit here, losing a decent chunk of HP, but otherwise making sure he maintains eye contact with Cheshire Cat to make sure the observers don't go the wrong way. So TP for TP traded. Really much accomplished other than the Alliance holding their Vulcan now. S4 just gets a straight up basic mid lane ward. Far forward as he can his side of the map, which the Radiant shouldn't be able to skip now. Up top here, Nuts controlling this position. He's got that cosmetic on him. He wants to drop some Tentacle Crush. And yep, they're not even going to give him the more passive ward here as they look to clear that out. I think they were actually debating that Minuts should take that observer ward kill for a little bit more gold. He just needs to be able to do more in early game. But if they're able to connect with the Crush into Rocket Barrage, they should find a kill on just about anybody. So there's still some potential with this. Just, I think that the amplified damage needs to really come into play, and against a Windrunner, that's not going to be that often the case.
Every coin helps.
So Aka is going to block out while Queen of Pain takes the Bounty Rune up top, and we'll see no block for Barrage as he takes the Bounty Rune down bottom. Going through full introductions here, we've got J4's Disruptor here in the safe lane, Dust already on hand as well as one Sentry Ward, and we're going to be seeing Big Num go for Radiant Creep block just in case that comes into play. He's already got a Sentry down. This should catch Bulldog off guard a little bit. Usually, you'll be able to scout out the enemy supports, see their holding sentries, and see when it leaves their inventory. So the fact that that's already in place, it might actually mean a first blood against Bulldog. We'll see. And now they're kind of moving appropriately to try to put some damage on him. They're going to go for the Arctic Burn and the Thunderstrike, but they might have enough follow-through. He's slowed, he's outside his web, it is going to be enough damage, just narrowly, as J4's last auto attack goes through. So, good pick up there, and yeah, that is the first blood, thanks to the surprise sentry. Meantime, up top, we're going to see Cheshire Cat. He tries to go for a pull, but Minuts will cock block it quite significantly. Okay, now he's in a zoning mood. He doesn't want to pull this 111. He wants to make sure that there's no chance there's anything coming their way from the Tusk, who's just going to be blocking his own wave. Looking over at mid, Barrage in the stick here. He doesn't have the ward for mid. He didn't hit the creep block, so just overall he's losing out to S4, as S4 is just hard zoning him, taking creeps when it's convenient for him. Barrage is going to have to win his way back into this lane the hard way, and might even go for that Null Talisman build again, the two to build up his stats and help his laning phase. Bulldog goes ahead, he did Sentry, and he does clear out the board here, most likely using a Tango to clear it out quickly. But I believe that leaves Arcade Sentry advantage. Yes, Big Num still has one, and Bulldog does not. Putting some good damage into Barrage. Can he blink dive this? It's very possible. The healing salve comes through and gets taken off immediately. Interesting. Oh, Minuts with the haste rune, just gonna leave Barrage for dead here. That's gonna be the second kill on the board. Nice jump in there. With Queen of Pain actually getting the kill thanks to Shadow Strike. Actually very convenient, as that's just a hard matchup win at that. You're doing so much in this safe lane now, or in the mid lane now. Bulldog really just trying to keep himself hidden. He doesn't know where this last Sentry Ward was placed, and he just wants to get experience. That's all he's looking for. We'll get nice little obs though. This will block the pull, and maybe that means they're will accidentally push down. It's very unlikely they're going to be able to commit wards to de-ward the Radiant pull camp, but can they actually find Bulldog here in the trees? They get him out of his webs. It does or not, he's going to be in real trouble here. He tries to slip away, but he's slower than ever, and one more hit will bring him down. It's a really hard game for the Broodmother and for Bulldog this game. That pre-sentry already did a lot of work. Now they're controlling this area very nicely, and while they won't be able to do much more with this pull camp, it seems like the damage is already done. Broodmother isn't even level 3 yet here this early stage. That said, Tusk is actually having a worse time of it, if you can even imagine that. Cheshire Cat here, not a single drop of experience given to him, just because of the aggression of the Slardar and the Dazzle. Now Slardar kind of hiding out, making sure the top rune is covered. But he's actually going to look for a play here against Barrage. He's going to go for the wind run. And actually, Ice Shard should put Minus in a really bad position, shackled to the tree. And while he really wants this kill, it's going to be the crush that brings Wind Ranger down. Minut's going to get a bottle sip from S4. And it looks like they'll both get out,
Radiant's
being able to refill the bottle here on the bottom rune. Meantime, Bulldog getting caught out once again. He's going to have to die for the cause. It looks like Bulldog will be going down, but this is one of the rune that would otherwise be covered by the Radiant. They would absolutely be all over S4 right now, if not for Bulldog's sacrificial play. I don't think it was intentional, but that is how it works out. And Minut's nearly getting clipped by the power shot there. Loda gonna start pushing, it looks like, pretty hard here on the top lane. Now that Cheshire Cat's been forced away, you want to get some tower damage, and you want to get these creeps killed off before Cheshire Cat can get experience, because as I said, he's having a really hard time of it. Hero level still indicating he's only 55 experience per minute, and now he's neck and neck with Bulldog. They're both having a rough time. So, I would say that while Cheshire Cat and Broodmother are both being shut down equally, Bulldog has given more to Arcade than
Radiant's
Cheshire
top
Cat
tower
has.
is under siege.
Needless to say, with 3 deaths, no soul ring. Tron's doing really well for himself. None of the kills going to him though. The supports are claiming all of them, and specifically the Disruptor. It's actually 3-0. J4 is actually having a pretty good game where he can just go for like a 4 position. Not necessarily a Midas build, but definitely a more active build in terms of game items. We're actually going to see a nice snowball dodging out. The crush coming in from Minus, but still the Sonic Wave screen follows through. And Minus might even survive. Another crush. A quick hit. The Cold Embrace. Minus can't die to the Arctic Burn, but will die to the last hit for Big No. It makes it a 1-for-1, but again, the Wind Ranger being the bigger kill. Meanwhile, up top, we're going to be seeing a lot of damage coming in from Gyrocopter. The Ring of Aquila up. Fortification committed. And yeah, they're gonna take this tower down to like a 3rd HP
top tower is under siege.
or less. So look, now with the Soul Ring, gets to 1v1 against Tron, but Tron Dust, he might even be able to find a solo kill. See, Disruptor now in some trouble. This guy's actually got a kill streak, believe it or not. So Slardar might be able to find a nice little open there. Minut's going again for the dive. Seems just very content with going as deep as he needs to. But he's not going to find J4, has to crush on Barrage to get away, while S4 jumps in and cleans up that killing spree. He gets 305 gold for the kill, while Slardar, he sinks to the deep once more. Tron still has that sentry. Doesn't get much in with spin though, as I was saying, you just get limited value. Unless you have like phase boots. If you go for the Blade Fury and then phase boots active, you can actually probably stay on top of those spiders. Otherwise, it's not as good. So early net worth going the way of Alliance despite Bulldog's difficulty in the bottom lane. And a lot of this comes down to just how well the top lane's doing, as well as S4's mid. S4 has gotten so many ganks with this Slardar. He's able to just sprint and die and dive and find those opportunities. Well, Loda, it's a bunch of stacks. He gets to push, he gets to farm. And the last hit on the tier 1 tower top did go to Loda, so, and you could just see where this net worth comes from very easily. Meantime, Barrage now 1-3-1, having some real difficulties just getting to the next tier of items. Mother juggling a little bit, Bulldog trying to find what he can, but have to be wary not to give us all away. Splinter Blast will take out 4 of the Spiderites, not the bigger kills, but still significant. And Bulldog's just gonna be going for the Orchid Rush. Interestingly enough. So ideally the Orchid prevents Windrunner from using the Windrun. In that case you're able to kill her off pretty nicely with just a blink, crush, and then silence. And that said, of course, it will pretty much enable a kill on anybody if they're by themselves. What it really wants is being able to have kill threat at level 6. Broodmother's getting 1 point in her ultimate, stopping the insatiable hunger, and just going to town on a single target. And that forces more more people to fight bottom than really Arcade wants to commit. We're actually going to see however he does that again. Well, of course, it doesn't really delay it since he's already been spending his money, but feed more gold towards Arcade.
Radiant's
Nice
middle
little
tower
stack
is
here as
being
well
attacked.
as an Observer Ward. But here on the high ground we see Barrage walking in with the haste. Not a fight you really want to take. Do you have Ake in an awkward position, maybe just TPing back to rejoin his allies, or... Yeah, there's no real advantage in this
Radiant's middle
flanking position, I
tower
would
is
say.
taking damage.
Yeah, they're just gonna go for the stack. They say, screw it. We have the perfect opportunity. You're not willing to hold your lane. Wind Ranger just ran out of mana, so go in, call down, and they take all of it. Load an S4, splitting it about 50-50. So, good cleanup there, and they'll look for the tier 1 as well. Just check out, they'll look for a high ground play. I'm not sure about this. This seems very dangerous. It does have a great isolation play onto Ake, but the charts isn't exactly what they want. They need this Omni Slash to connect perfectly. It bounces to Gyrocopter all 3 times, but he just gets grazed, and he'll walk away. Magic Stick's not going to be enough to keep the Dazzle alive, though. And Sonic Wave will kill off the Wyvern. Support for support, Broodmother is going to start to really infest this bottom lane. You can see he's taken the webs away from the actual lane and just started putting them in the jungle where he can farm the neutrals. But now that they're rotating towards mid a lot, he can start putting webs right back on here towards the tower. And yeah, just get lots of aggression out.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Urn of Shadows up for Slardar. Blink Dagger should be the next pickup. Now, just running around with Tranquil Boots. Oh, gonna be glimpsing back Slardar. He'll still get the crush on J4. The spiders will look to kill him, but the healing ward is in play.
Middle tower is taking damage.
Oh, very close to killing him. J4 finally falling, and that's just gonna be even more spiders to feed to the army. Meantime, Cheshire Cat just scouting things out, sees a stack. Really wants a solo kill on like a Dazzle or something, but he's not gonna find it, even with the DD rune. Down bottom, there's gonna actually be a little bit of a dive here. Windscare's just on Ake alone. He might live long enough for the grave here. Magic Stick, no grave allowed thanks to the Walrus punch. Let's to the top of the shackle as well, and Barrage will set up Tron for a double. But now they really have to start pushing, because Alliance is going to be bringing a lot of lane pressure very shortly. Broodmother's going to force 2 heroes to respond to her when she has that Orchid. Juggernaut can't do it by himself unless he's really farmed. Because just Orchid and Incapacitating Bite, one in there, and you're just going to be able to tear into him. But Tron does have the Perseverance, looks for the Battle Fury, and if he gets Battle Fury up, I think he can still man-fight the Broodmother to an extent. Well, just walking so slowly without those boots of speed, but where the webs are. Yeah, and we'll most likely start spreading it
being attacked.
as he builds his brood once more. Eul's Scepter up for S4. A good way to either block the snowball stun or wait out the static storm. Also might be a good way to initiate things. If you're not having to save it for a defensive Eul's, then yeah, you just start things off for nuts here. If he does get the spin, go for the TP, and they don't have any points in bash. So that allow him to walk away, actually, fling the TP. However, we're going to see S4 away from a glimpse, and Tron taking a few hits here, but they know he can't Omni Slash in this fight thanks to the Brood, and they're just going to go and try to fight it out in this choke point. They'll get a 2-hand Sonic Wave, but Bulldog goes down. Now the call down is going to strike hard onto Tron, onto the Disruptor, and killing a lot off. Barrage to be just finished off by the Bane. Cheshire Cat zoned out, and J4 likely to fall as well. Yeah, there's no hope for him here. So this is just a really good fight from Alliance there. They knew with all those spiders, the Juggernaut just couldn't do anything. And of course they initiated with the Eul's forcing the spin. Cheshire Cat does get finished off by the Queen of Pain. Doesn't get another Eul's usage out, but just the Dazzle right-clicking along with the Queen of Pain's slow.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
And this just gives them a huge momentum swing forward, where Bulldog was struggling now. He's kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of experience per minute, at least over all the supports. Beyond that, of course, the net worth shoots up for the gyrocopter and the Queen of Pain, who got most of those kills. And they're going to take a tier 1 tower as well, allowing them to do even more across the map. They're going to go for a TP here, trying to get one more kill, but it looks like it might just be on the Slardar. Loda gets out of the ice shards just narrowly. Now Cheshire Cat's in an awkward position. We're going to see the Winter's Curse come out onto Nuts. Ake, Shallow Grave TP he's just going to walk away. So screw this noise. And he's going to get bottled up by S4 to keep damage rolling, keep the heals rolling. And Nuts, with a forward double crush, is going to set up a great follow-through with the call down. They can't fight into the call down. Cheshire Cat goes down, and J4 is caught completely out of position. Brace will help him a little bit with the killing ward as well, but Loda is still a monster here, and he is going to be cleaning things up. A great heal bomb from Ake, and they will take 4 for 1 in the end. I don't know what that play was about. If they catch the gyrocopter there, that's actually a good team, but it just was so delayed, sending in the reinforcements after the tower was already gone. Cade really wanted something out of that, but they got nothing. They only killed the Slardar, and he cares little for his life when he could set up a play like that. I gotta say there's one amazing thing that Alliance did in that fight, though, and that's keeping the Dazzle in play. Where Dazzle is down at almost no mana, has 1 HP, is at Shallow Grave and is TPing away. The decision, as soon as Juggernaut leaves spin range, to keep the Dazzle there and give him bottle sips from S4 allowed them to get 2 major heal bombs in that fight. And that really just turns the engagement, even when Arcade commits everything. So, very impressed by Ake's wherewithal to stay in the engagement, S4's communication to make that happen, and just in general for them to stay involved here. They are starting to control the Radiant jungle, making it so this Juggernaut's battle phase is not only delayed, but less impactful. And that is about 8 Spiderites going the way of Ignum. Go into the Roche Pit, have a million spiders to tank it up. And, the amplified damage, of course. Our shot saves vision, yeah. They're going to be pinging it out and looking to move in the pit with the Tusk.
Radiant's top tower is
Just
under
our
siege.
Cat's on the back line, though, and the Weave came out onto 3 heroes up front. Now the spiders go right up the hill, and Cheshire Cat's in an awkward spot, but even more so is S4 caught by the Shackle and the Winter's Curse, but there's going to be the Grave. He'll Yules for now, then the Grave as needed, and the Auto Slash will be ineffectual. S4 drops everything and gets away! They kill off 5! The buyback as well! Alliance undeterred, unflappable. These guys just doing so much work. Oh, absolutely insane team fight. And once again, Arcade are trying to fight in this call down, as if that's possible. They just really can't. The way that the Omni Slash is being controlled by either spiders or Shallow Graves, the way that they're able to survive through the Shackle and through the Winter's Curse, this is something they didn't have in the previous games.
Really seeing
Specifically against the Wyvern Wind Ranger combo in game number 2, where they only had the Jakiro and the Undying to respond. Soul Rip mechanism is not enough to deal with the hard disables of Shackle and Winter's Curse when they're both going on the Queen of Pain. But you get a Grave in there, and it's absolutely enough. Added into Yules, and he's fine and dandy. S4 even went Eeper Red to drop his combo, and then blink out still. Oh, Arcade really in a rough spot now. Against a blinking Slardar, they're up against Orchid Broodmother, and it's gonna get hard from here. But 14,000 net worth favoring Alliance, 12,000 experience, and they are looking to close this one out pretty soon. Rosh doesn't even have a core
Dyer's
item up,
top tower is
just the
being
basics, the bare bones. Juggernaut has the burst, but that's not enough. You see Alliance looking to converge. Tron has the spin
Dyer's
TP,
top tower is being
and unless there's a
attacked.
lucky bash, I think it's an escape. You always have to consider. Radiant Sentry, Observer Sentry combo, scouting up Bulldog's position, but he's not going to be pursued upon. Instead, it's going to be Tron. Where that bash come? No.
Dyer's
No
middle
bash,
tower
no luck.
taking
We're going to
damage.
see S4 finding out Big Num. This is not a good Winter's Curse. Just not. Even if he lives, it's going to lose him a tower, and he almost died
Dyer's
to the
middle
crush.
tower is being attacked.
Oh, that was close. But yeah, that's down for 96 seconds while the Alliance have an Aegis. What is to stop them from just walking down the middle lane right now? I really don't know. At this point, Arcade are in a desperate situation. Even though the Winter Wyvern lives, he's level 7, his death timer relatively short. That ultimate timer though, that's gonna maybe cost them a tier 3 tower. The Alliance aren't really forcing the issue just yet though. Kinda control and maybe even looking for another pickoff. Down bottom with the Broodmother webs, it seems to be they're we'll see. Maybe a really nice smoke coming out from Arcade. Certainly an unexpected one. They're able to get in position fast enough. Loda has an Aegis. S4 has a regen rune. Like, at this point, these guys are so durable. They're so sustainable. It's really difficult to even imagine how they can contest this position. And they don't have something like the Legion Commander's overwhelming odds. They can't even punish this without the Winter Curse. Kinetic Static is such a big cooldown, and you have to be in a perfect position for it. They'll start keeping heroes back, but already the tier 3 tower in trouble. Mias will miss the crush, but they just go right back to the tower. Gonna see slips back here. Minuts, oh no! Losing out instantly, and they'll have to back off. Or I would call the just curse a bit of a misplay. This is a massive blunder, losing the slaughter like that. They'll send one Sonic Wave out and be on their way, but they've done so much more there if the slaughter hadn't gotten so overzealous. Obviously, if you get a kill there, if you get the crush to connect and you kill you're looking for, great, Alliance take the even more. But there's just such a huge difference between finding that crush, finding that kill, instead of cheating away yourself. Maybe you can look for Arcade to shallow grave that, and then you're in a horrid position. And it's so much more difficult to keep fighting. This will buy time for Juggernaut to find his Battle Fury. This will be time for Admiral Bulldog to go down once. 3, 7, and 3 is his KDA. He's creating space for the Juggernaut to just be killed off outright with Minuts blinking in hard. That was actually really good. Just finding the quick blink rush and taking him down quickly. I don't think he was fully TP though. I feel like that was like a bad TP to the tower or something. Punished pretty heavily. And in the meantime, jeez. Just cleaned up by the combo of Queen of Pain. Aghanim Scepter enough to bring him down quickly. So right now, Alliance holding at 15,000 net worth, about 11k experience. Zap! And Arcade, just trying to drag the game out. And go for the Battle Fury! What value is a Perseverance if you're not going to turn it into more? He goes for the Manta. Oh no. The Yasha would have been the farming item if you have to go for a Manta, but I guess he started Battle Fury before he saw the Orchid progression for Bulldog, or maybe he thought the Orchid would take a lot longer to finish. Either way, he goes back for the Yasha, going into the Manta, try to break free of the silence of the Broodmother. And while that's is the right play defensively, it means it's impossible for them to really bring anything to bear against this Brood. And against clumping from Alliance in general. If they just stick together after the Winter's Curse, after the Static Storm, there's nothing to punish that. And for the most part, Arcade have been initiating with their Static Storms, with their Winter's Curses. The fight doesn't start until ultis drop. As much as Tusk would love to start it faster, it's just not been the case recently. Now it's my turn to really comment on Alliance's board. Dire to Radiant Suppression has been really prevalent this match, but we're seeing Alliance really start controlling the jungle. We've got an early ward here to steal some stacks, but now we're just seeing it to prevent farm and to allow Broodmother to move safely through the jungle. They're farming the Radiant and the Dire jungle. Alliance are just overwhelming Arcade in terms of resources, and I don't see the end of sight for them. I mean, Barash will have an Aghanim Scepter, but it's not as high impact. Dazzle, who has that shallow. Heck, we might even see a Solar Crest this game. 9-0-7 on the Queen of Pain, 5-0-7 on the Gyrocopter. S4 and Loda having an amazing game. And it just really comes to, I think this Dazzle just ties the lineup together so much better than everything they were bringing before. The Slaughter is also pretty interesting. Obviously, Minut's made a recent misplay, but over the course of the game, he's been very involved in initiating. And I think the strength of the Slaughter over like the Sand King is the example I gave, is the extra durability. He's less mana dependent than a Sand King, so he can go Tranquil Boots. Oh, a little pick off opportunity there, but just a quick TP out. Scares him off, nothing more. Anyways, the Slaughter is less mana dependent since he's just crushing and the sprint costs no mana at all. He's extra tanky, a lot of strength in this hero compared to the Sand King, even more natural armor. So he's able to dive towers more actively, and we saw that a lot. And then of course you get the potential of the sprint for the kill too, which kind of makes up for the lack of range of the stun compared to Burrow Strike. So I'm seeing the Slaughter do a lot of work, and of course Roshan is extremely fast now. Like, the amplified damage just facilitates that key objective that Alliance has prioritized since their team began. Alliance is always really low Roshan and sneaking Roshan, and Slaughter is one of the best heroes to make that a reality. So, let's go ahead and look at the item charts. We do see here Aghanim Scepter finished for the Wind Ranger.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Could have been looking for most likely a Shiva's Guard at this point.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Winter Wyvern with the Glimmer Cape. Looks like Joker wants one of those as well, but really not that much magic damage coming out. It's a good tool for escape, and it's great with a Cold Embrace, but you're still going to be hit by so many different things. A lot of physical damage. Amp damage will nullify the Invis effect, and then of course you've got the pure damage Sonic Wave. So all in all, I'm not sure if the Glimmer Cape is really going to be all that valuable compared to, like, say, a 4-step could be pretty huge. Gyro farming things up on the Dominator to stack, and then goes for the Sonyasha and progressing into the Butterfly. Pretty natural progression. It's going to be very frustrating for the Wind Ranger and the Juggernaut to really stay on target here. Once again, they go for the Roshan, taking it down to -6 armor, and allows Loda to just do it pretty much by himself. But they'll commit for it, getting the HSQ on the Gyrocopter, and they're ready to roll. Big Num doing a little bit of pushing, but not much. And at this point, they're going to have to bait him hard if they're going to be able to take a fight. Broodmother just going to keep pushing. He doesn't want to TP to this fight, but we're going to see S4 maybe caught out by just one ultimate. Just one ultimate could do so much here. S4 scouts out and gets the clear vision. Try for the blink away. He needs a grave here. That's a huge crush from Minus, along with the call down, and the Black Cannon just obliterating Arcade here. They clean up 5 all at once with a huge crush from Slardar. Oh, massive damage coming out with that blink initiation. They keep S4 alive, even without the shallow or maybe with, it doesn't matter. They just do so much damage. 2250 on that Gyrocopter as they just obliterate them in just one fell swoop. Slardar, my nuts, the initiation of a lifetime. Just beautiful. And now we have Alliance just finishing off the bottom racks, looking for mid next. They're already putting damage in there from Loda and Ogley. And they are, I would say, just this lane of racks away from victory. Kate Hart holds the lineup to come back from 3-lane deficit. And now you get to see Juggernaut going for the Battle Fury, which I don't really have much to say about. Like, just go for the Battle Fury, but we've got the Snowball coming down bottom just to clear things out. They have decided this racks must fall, and that's quite unfortunate, as now they only have 1 lane remaining and Alliance can back out with their heads high. There is going to be Brood. Bulldog is troll and Tron more than anything else, but if they can find a jump here with my nuts, it might be more than that. Nice spin away from Tron. Means it won't be faked off, but geez, Alliance really have just shown how strong this lineup can be. What an incredible team fight, setting up for 2 full lanes in their advantage. And it just, like, this kind of a team fight lineup isn't even held liable to the fact that they committed to a split push hero. Their mother wasn't in that fight at all, and yet they 4v5'd them so handily, with just a little bit of extra vision from the Pain, and then essentially all the heroes clumping up to try to kill her. They all beeline for this Queen of Pain because she's caught inside the Ice Showers. They're like, let's Winter's Curse her, let's Static Storm her, let's make sure she can't blink away. And their full commitment, their tunnel vision to commit to the Queen of Pain kill cost them so much between the Slaughter and the Gyrocopter. Just absolutely insane how much they were able to do just with a few spells. Now Satanic's up for Loda.
Radiant has lost their
I mean, the
top
Aegis
tower.
might be expiring in 2 minutes, but they're gonna have to deal with 2 Lodas
Radiant's
right
top
here and
tower
now.
is being attacked.
And I feel they can barely deal with 1. They're gonna try to mess with Bulldog, but Bulldog will mess with them, open them on the back as they run away. We are gonna still see Minot standing strong here. They get the Winter's Curse out onto 2, but Big Gun still goes down, and they'll finish it off. Good game. Wolfblade comes out. Alliance take the second win in this best 3 series, closing it out 2-1 with a 30-15 kill score. 29 minutes, 30 seconds. Alliance just absolutely obliterate Arcade. Alliance is back. That was actually insane. The way they were able to execute on that fight, bait them all into a corner for the full setup was just gorgeous. And it just shows what Alliance are capable of.